Alright. Hello everybody out there. How's everybody doing today? Yes, it's another beautiful day here in Saskatchewan. The sun's shining and it's around 0. Perfect day. Perfect day here. Hope everybody's keeping well and safe. What should we talk about today? I guess we'll talk about the free agency. It's pretty well wrapped up. There's a few still out there, but I don't think the Roughriders will be doing any more shopping. How do I rate how they did this time around in the free agent market? I don't know. It's yet to be determined, I guess. He was a lot more active and he filled a lot of the holes that I think we needed being filled. The big holes that needed to be filled were on the O-line. They've got 15 O-linemen on the roster this year to look at camp. And I think they had 12 last year. I've said before, I think he tried to fill that whole line holes, but you know, things just didn't turn out. A couple of guys that are still on the list, that Hawkins, he was supposed to be our left tackle, and he never got very many snaps. For a while there, he had family issues or something. I think it was listed as family issues. And then he was hurt, I think. And like I said, we really didn't get to look at him. I'm starting to wonder whether he'll even show up at camp. I guess time will tell. And then the other American we were supposed to have playing tackle was that Tucker, and he went down right at the green and white game and before even preseason, so really didn't get much of a look at him either. They're both back, and they did pick up a few more this year, O'Day. Like, of course, they got from the Bombers at Hardrick. He'd been around for a while, but he's a right tackle. And that was an interesting pickup. I think he'll help us. I'm a little bit suspect with him on the pass protection. He's slowed down. I watched both him and Bryant from the Bombers, and they're not given the protection they used to give old Caleras. And I think he'll manage the blocking, run blocking, but I don't know, time will tell. He's definitely got their credentials for possibility for a couple more years. Hope one more for sure anyway. And then they just picked up a supposed American left tackle, Hubbard. Jonathan Hubbard. Young guy, 26, played some NFL. Was never drafted, he was a walk-on. You can't expect much more to get any more higher up than that for CFL guys. Seemed to always get the walk-on guys that ended up hitting some practice rosters in the NFL. But they did have some time in coaching down there. Gonna be interesting to see how he plays. And then another one they added was Ryan Shriver. I think it's Shriver they call is his last name. I don't know how you say it. But he's a left guard. And he started for the Stampeders. That might be a hell of a pickup. another Canadian. So it actually, if these Americans don't work out, maybe they can move Furland or Blake out to the left tackle position. It's hard to say whether they can do it, but it would sure give the Roughriders a big advantage of being able to have 4 starters on the offensive line. It opens up a lot of avenues for the team. But they brought in, you know, like some newer guy, Trevor Reed, that Brammer. I'm not sure of the other ones, but those are the main ones. The rest we had last year. Logan Bandy got some time in there when Godbar went down. Like I said, we got quite a bit of depth at offensive line, supposedly, but we'll see how talented they are. Like I said, I thought O'Day had quite a few possibilities in camp last year, and it looked pretty good, but turned out guys going down and no time flat. We're looking for all offensive linemen. Like I said, Bandy had to go in there. That's about it for the offensive linemen. I like concentrating on both the offensive and defensive lines. That's where football games are won, is on the line. And we got 14 defensive linemen on the roster now. See how they look in camp. I suppose the main one was Malik Carney. He came over. He should help us. He's a decent defensive end. And I thought last year our defensive line was going to be good, but we were just 1-2 seconds or too slow getting to the quarterback, and we really didn't stop the run worth a damn. You know, I liked we lost a few guys like that Brian Cox Jr. I thought he'd be pretty good, but he ended up getting injured. He was my pick out of camp. He's back. Another guy I liked, his play last year was that Lake Corte Moore, Canadian. He played quite a bit of end. And we got Mika Johnson back. Miles Brown to rotate back and forth in there. Christian Albright, we got him now. And there's lots to choose from. I can't wait to see what they all look like in camp. But we got quite a few anyway to look at. Like they got another guy, that Pounder. He's going to be interesting to look at. Braden Thompson. He's got quite a few added in there. Caleb Sanders. There's a little bit of talent there to look at. And we'll see. Mace is the defensive coordinator, so he's going to have to hope he's got a powerful D-line, that's for sure. Then we move on to defensive backs. It's going to be interesting there for sure, because both Marshall, I'm glad he's gone anyway, and Clark on the corners, both gone. So there's going to be a fight for those positions. You might get Deontay Williams from last year in there. Cooper they brought in, and that Nick Nelson. I read a bit about him. He's a really good cover guy, but what I read, he likes getting penalties. Time will tell on that one. But one guy we got back on the DB is Milligan. It seemed we went right downhill after he went out, and he's back. And they got Lacombo, and they got Delkey. Like, they're not too bad at safety. They'll help us out. There shouldn't be too bad there, but I think the main go at there is going to be competition is for who we're going to pick up for doing our corners. Be interesting. There's 15 of them anyway. And then we move on to linebackers. That was another good pickup by O'Day and Mace, and the group is that Thurman. You know, he'll be better than Dean was in the middle there. And we got a replacement for Tights, a Claire. He's a Canadian. I think he'll be a step up. I really had big hopes for Tights, but he went downhill after he got injured. He should be in. We got quite a few at linebacker. We got the Reed boys. They're in there. Revis might play DB or linebacker, but we got quite a few guys to look at there too. That Jalen Moody, McLaren, TJ Brunson. He put on the biggest hit last year on special teams. And who else? Oh, that AJ Allen. You know, he might end up being the backup. But there's a good selection there. Should be no problem. 13 linebackers to look at. Like right now, I think the Riders already have 83 people on the roster, so it doesn't leave much room for any more players. I'm thinking where they haven't picked anybody Americans up yet are wide receivers, and they should be a dime a dozen down there. Be good for them to get a few more guys into camp at wide receiver. Like, we really don't know if Emilus is coming back for sure. He's still got some opportunities in the NFL, and he's still got some opportunities in the NFL. Shaker Baker tried out down there, no luck, but we got him back. And we shined Sean Baines, which was pretty steady for us last year, and he's nice to have him back. And we got Brady, Lenius, Picton. I think we're still a little light there. Stearns, he wasn't too bad. Jarrett Stearns and Kendall Watson they picked up. But like I said, I'd really like them to find a speedster out there. I think one guy they're looking for some speed and some a possibility is that Geronimo Allison. They picked him up. He'll be interesting to look at camp. And I guess that's like I said, I think that's where they're going to be looking for some more wide receivers to look at camp. And maybe another left tackle on offense. I mean, they can find another one for competition. And that moves on to our biggest signing that really made me happy was that AJ Ouellette. He's not a gigantic kid, but what he doesn't have in size, he's got in heart. And he runs hard and sees a hole. Even if it's small, he busts through it. If it's not one, he makes one. So, and he was decent at pass blocking, which is important. And we picked up another fullback. I don't know what he's going to do. Ratkovich. And Runge is another fullback. But as long as that old AJ Ouellette stays healthy, which is a big if, hard as he runs, you'd think they'd find one more maybe to look at. We still got Hickson, which I'm glad they kept him over Morrow. Looks like Morrow didn't even pass the physical for Calgary, so that's interesting. And then our kicking should be all right. Yeah, I really like Corsac. He's, I think, the best kicker in the league, or close to it. And there's nothing matter with Lothar. He's a decent field goal kicker. He's signed for 3 years. But and then it all comes down to, and everybody knows it, quarterback. I was never a real big Harris fan to begin with, and he's okay, but he's not my style of quarterback. Give me a Vernon Adams way before. I'd even take Cody before him, to tell you the truth. And I'm not a real big Cody fan. I like quarterbacks that can use their legs. Harris has got 10 times the arm Cody does, but Harris is not a runner. He proved that when his first time he tried to run downfield and got hurt. And he's getting close to 40. So who's going to take over when he's down? Like I said earlier, not really happy they dumped Dolegala. He was much my preference over Fine. No one knows what really happened there. I got a feeling he was wanting more than the Roughriders were willing to pay him. And I don't blame O'Day. He had to use a lot of money up for a lot of these other guys, and if you dump a lot on your backup quarterback, you end up losing. But that being said, you still need a decent backup. And who's that going to be, really? Maybe Pipkin, maybe Patterson can step up if Fine can't. I guess it'll be a big dogfight. Who will be number 2 out of camp? I'm thinking one of those Pipkin or Patterson will step up and get into that number 1 spot, backup spot. But that's what scares me the most about this season, folks, is just like last season. What were we, 3-1? And then Collaris goes down. Well, that was pretty well it. Sad but true. Well, I've babbled enough already. There's a lot more to say, but video's getting long enough. Like anybody that's watching, maybe hit that comment down below. Where do you think what they should look for in these last? I think we got room for 7 more players before that's it. I think 90's the amount. Correct me if I'm wrong down below, but I think it's 90 they can take to camp. And who should they be going after? You know, yeah, hit the comments down below. I'd like to hear what people think. Like I think they're gonna have to go for a couple more wide receivers and another left tackle, like I said, on offense. And yeah, just find some diamonds in the rough. You know, I haven't heard of what they're gonna have here. That's when these camps come up and they have tryouts down south. So they got room to bring a few more up here yet, so might as well fill it right up and get more to choose from. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody that tunes into my videos. Again, I really appreciate it. Getting a lot of time people watch on my videos. It's right up there. Need a few more subscriptions. That'd be nice. Just hit that subscribe if you can. You got a buddy, tell him to hit that subscribe. Help out Roughrider guy. He's old and he needs help. Yeah, well, that's about all the comments I got for now. And we'll catch you on the flip side and see if anything big breaking news happens this next coming week. It's gonna be a I'm pretty excited about the season, actually. I think we got a lot better chance of competing this year. But it'll all depend. It's a team sport. And you got to gel as a team. A lot of the same players back, but hopefully you've added the pieces that you need to compete and stay competitive. Even if you lose guys, next man up. And to me, that Mace seems to be a gung-ho guy, and I'll be real interesting to see how he runs camp. This will be my 4th coach I've seen run the camps at the Riders, so it's interesting to see their different ways of doing things. Anyway, till next time, go Riders go.